Election. Home of the people.
Yo, man, I gotta spray some Fabrice up in here. It's funky, boy. Funky. Sorry for last minute, but we ain't got much to listen to in the morning. Some of us married dudes, I guess. So I was like, shoot, let me just go on and whatever thoughts that come to mind, I can weigh in or something. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, I didn't know they changed the name. This used to be Steve's. So Steve is closing down too? I don't know what to say, man. Like so many businesses are just closing, whether it's corporate, commercial, or mom and pop, of course. A lot of businesses are closing. They're being replaced by one thing I had to give the Koreans out here that, when it came to like businesses, they didn't totally like come up with something new. They just took over the business and took the face off, the black face off the soul food restaurants and the fish markets out here. But at least you had something. Then the Korean dudes or ladies or whatever, they kind of knew a little bit, kind of how to talk when it came to like, what do you call it? Food business, I would say. Nail shops, that's all theirs. Hopefully, if that look. Love is a message. Pragmatic Prime in the building. What's going on, fam? Dun, 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 dun. Listen for the organ. Hey, that song will never die. It will never die. It's Love is a Message by Mother, Father, Sister, Brother. That's MFSB. Here on K Art 106.1. K Art. Yeah, man. Let's see. On my way to the JOB. We got Passport OG in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Sorry not to go on, because I be hoping I ain't nothing to listen to, man. Good morning. I run out of what do you call it? Playbacks. We got Brother Harut in the Apocalypse. What's going on? Where is this? Hold on. Okay, I am back. I have to check my GPS. Anybody remember the 70s when it was a lot of the whole gamble and huff stuff? I don't think people realize how big of an impact the Kenny Gamble. Is it Frank Huff? That's I just remember Gamble Huff. Sounds of Philadelphia. That was let me see. I kind of think that was a standard for the most part in the 70s. Remember this beat? I forgot the name of that guy that he took the credit. One of the guys that was part of the whole Sound of Philadelphia. I think he was with Tavares because I think he went with some groups. You know, I'm kind of young when it comes to that. I can only go by documentaries and what people from back in those times could share with me, right? So I can't speak absolutes with Google fingers. But man, I'm telling you, Gambling Huff, that beat, that main beat, that was standard, dude. Man, got to get off that street. That street. GPS keeps letting me off that street where I got to see the Figueroa chicks with the G-string stuff. So one day I have my phone on the dashboard so y'all can see. So, when you have your phone on the dashboard, they don't know what's going on. If you have your hand up, camera like you're trying to take some pictures, they gonna like, hey, what you doing? I don't feel like going through that. You know, as you can see well not see, but but for the most part, when you have those chicks walking around at Figueroa, they got what do you call it? Pimps. There you go. That pimp's looking out. But the reason why I say it was a standard because if you watch a lot of the American Music Awards and the Grammys, a lot of the songs that we're playing, they were like either Gamble and Huff songs or songs that had their formula, that beat. And what made it so prevalent, Gamble and Huff often use orchestras to make funk and disco, soul. They use orchestras. They weren't just doing the whole standard horns, bass, lead guitar, rhythm, keyboard, synthesizer. They were doing more than that. Way more. God dang it, way more. Shout out to them brothers, man. They both still living. You ever wonder, like, if you run into a legend? Because I was thinking about it, if you ran into a Gamble and a Huff. There's some legends. If you run into them, you kind of don't know what to ask. You just be glad to meet them. You call this symphonic soul, huh? Okay. Symphonic. So shout out to Paul Wilson. Man. Y'all hear that? They kind of remix it, as you can tell. And them beats, man. And then you had like what I'm trying to say is when we had that kind of music, it was hard for other people to intervene. It's pretty hard for people to intervene. But And when I mean intervene, is like it's kind of hard to come in and put on some black clothes and pretend like they black, and that wouldn't happen in the '60s and '70s. Oh hell no! You always had a few. One thing I can think about is average white band. What, they from Austria or Australia? They came with it. Average white band, shit. I mean, very first song I think is "This World Is Music." I mean, it was cool. You know, it had like a crossover. It sounded like Chicago. I don't know if you remember Chicago, the group. Early Chicago, not that Karate Kid Chicago. But Chicago, the one. Does anybody know what time it is? And the beginnings, and they sound like them. I don't know what kind of weed they was smoking or something happened, but they got funky as hell this next album. I'm like, damn. And picking up the pieces was cut the cake. What else? Yeah, Peter Cetera, Chicago. It's alright. But I like the early Chicago. I just want to be free. Uh Saturday in the park. Just you and me. That shit is hard. Just you and me. Simple and free. Tight. Uh Matter of fact, while you're BSing, there's a song they came out with called No Tell Lover. Look it up. Check out No Tell Lover. Paul, it's the average white band. Oh, Casey and the Sunshine Band. You call it Fumularic, or it's a Fumulaic funk. Okay. Yeah, people sleep on KC. Had that Miami sound. Jimmy Bohorn, and what's the other dude's name? Uh, he did I Get Lifted. Yeah, but I don't think he was long in the tooth like average white band. KC was definitely commercial. According to the documentaries, he fed a lot of people. His formula or his machine or whatever, it was long going for a while until the '80s hit. When the '80s came, a lot of people were scrambling. Yeah, they were scrambling after the '80s. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody got their own different take on why disco died. Uh, Lonzo Williams from the World Class Wrecking Crew, he constantly says this. He says disco died because white men didn't want to dance anymore, or didn't want to dance. I was like, really? Okay. You hear Bobby Hemmett. Some of you guys not hip to him or don't like him. I don't know. Bobby Hemmett said that when disco hit, it opened up a strong and uncontrollable sexual revolution. If I'm paraphrasing it. So a lot of things were like free. A lot of things were fluid. A lot of things, well, not fluid as far as gender, but a lot of things were like constantly being created, through sexual energy. That's what he said. Everything was about coming together from the opposite sex, and then later on, you had what you call it, the rainbow people start to infiltrate that more. So they jumped on the bandwagon like they always do. jump on the bandwagon and try to change the meaning of things. Let's see. Oh, Paul was as opposed to cool in the game. We are scientists of sound, mathematically putting it down. You understood what that came from, Paul? And I believe they were slash Philadelphia and New Jersey, I believe. You know where they came from? A lot of people don't know where that their kind of some of their lyrics came from, especially Lights of the World, the Light of the World. A lot of people don't know where that stuff came from. They was have a song called H.G. Whiting. That's a hint right there. Anybody? Nobody knows, huh? I figured that. Y'all just enjoy the music. Yep, the majority of Kool and the Gang was in the Nation of Islam, fam. They've got a song called The Hereafter. That's all. I ain't gonna say all, but most of that stuff is Nation of Islam. And I believe they were mosque number 21. Remember Do for Self? Jeremiah Shabazz? Yeah, man, they weren't playing. I mean, it was majority NOI. There was a few 5%ers in there. But yeah, their lyrics are like heavily NOI influence in the, and then later on it got the Jerry Curl. She's fresh. Anxiety. They throw that away in a minute. It's ladies' night. They're like, forget this. We got to make this money. Same thing with GQ. GQ, where they were 5%ers. They were called the Sons of something, Soul or something. Soul. They got a song called, I think the Soul Searchers. I forgot the name of the group before they were called GQ. But they were 5%ers. Because the original song from Disco Nights was Soul on Your Side. Matter of fact, he sound better on that song. Yeah, people just don't give credit where credit is due. They just think that stuff come out of a bag or a box. Like, no, man, dude. Nation of Islam had most black folks calling each other brother and sister back in the day. But they only say that the church did that. Like, no, man. Like some of the I guess you would call them Masons, what have you. I heard they weren't really calling each other brother then until like the 40s and 50s. But shoot, Nation came out in 1930. July 4th, 1930. Y'all don't want to hear no Nation of Islam history. People feel a certain way about it. This is what I noticed about this face. Education and marriage. And that doesn't work in my favor. But I do see it and recognize it. They feel a certain way. That's why when they bring me up, they got me on the fence a little bit. Oh, you named them. Oh, really? Archie Bell and the Drills? Called the Tighten Up. Really? My aunt used to date one of the members of that group. I didn't know they were related. I never knew that. That's some good ass history. We're Archie Bell and the Drills from Houston, Texas. My aunt used to date them. My aunt was very. Let's just say she stayed connected with all the who's who in the music business and stuff. I don't think she was I don't think she was a groupie or nothing, but they always tried to holler at her, and she pretty much was picky on who she dated. Okay, watch it, fella. Don't hit my car. Don't hit my car. But yeah, I see y'all. Y'all feel a certain way about education, married life, and the nation. Y'all got a bug in your crawl about those three different things. Oh my God. And fraternities and sororities. Oh my God. So yeah, I see there's a little bit of resentment, but it's all good, y'all. People gonna be who they be. People gonna love who they love. All them kind of things. Anyhow, I'm about to go to work, y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with the kid. Got my little Steely Dan on, but it's too late to bust that. Y'all like Babylon Sisters? All right, anyhow, peace and hair grease.